10 important lessons from the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Robert Kiyosaki is the author of this fantastic book. Actually, to be honest, this is the only book from all the books of Kiyosaki that I've ever read. Realistically, it's the best one that he made. And the other ones, I won't consider them bestsellers. But yeah, to each their own. I'm just not a fan of the other books that he had. But this one, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, I want to note down for you 10 of the very most important lessons that you can learn from Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Are you ready? My name is Coach Antonio, and in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you the 10 important lessons from the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. Let's go. First important lesson in this book is you want to make your money work for you. A person works for their money. A person with a rich mindset will make their money work for them. How does it work? So the rich aren't employees for very long. And guess what? To become rich, you need to hire others for your job. It's been that way for generations. And it's not to be a job holder. To become rich, you have to hire people and use that by paying them to work for you. When you believe a job is only the way to earn money, you're going to get trapped. I always say this to everyone that's become my student. A job will not set you free for life. It will make you comfortable, but it will not set you off for life. And it's something that you cannot pass on to your children. So that's the most important lesson here. Make your money work for you. And you have to be smart on how you use your money. So that's number one. Number two, learn how to control your emotions. All humans have this similar emotion. So you want to avoid giving into fear, desire, laziness, poor habits, and most of all, arrogance. It's how you choose to handle these emotions that separate the rich from the poor. So you want to control your emotions before they start controlling you. Don't make a decision based out of your emotions. When you're mad, don't fire someone, or when you're happy, don't promote someone. Those are just examples of people, using their emotions to make rash decisions. Like, they want to leave their jobs or they want to stop their business because they just feel bad that day. You had a bad day. You don't have a bad life. Those are two completely different things. Control yourself, control your emotions before it starts controlling you. So that's number two. Let's go on to number three, which is make mistakes and learn from them. Mistakes are only mistakes when you don't learn from them. So when you make a mistake and then you learn from them, it's called a lesson. It's a different thing. Schools, they teach us to make mistakes that are bad because we are punished for them. They make us stand in the corner, or they throw out outside of a classroom, or they tell us to go to the principal's office. I don't know. School teaches you that. Yet humans, they learn from mistakes. When you touch something hot, like when the first time you touch something hot as a kid, you would be afraid to touch it again. Like when you touch something with electricity, like electrical cord, like as a kid, the first time you touched it, you feel electrocuted, right? And you never, or hopefully you never tried doing that shit again, right? I mean, it's the same thing. When you started walking as a kid and you started running because you think you could do that, and then you fall flat on your face and you cried, guess what? You stood up again. It's the same thing. We learn from our mistakes. So you learn not to run anymore. You start walking slowly instead until you build enough strength to actually be able to run. I mean, you can't run a marathon at 2 years old, for Christ's sake. So it takes years for you to learn that. That's why the rich are not afraid of failure. They win. It's either you win or you learn. Those are just two different things, right? You win or you learn. At the same time, you never lose because there's a lesson from it. People who avoid failure also avoid success. It's one of those important quotes that people use from that book, and it's a very special quote. So people who avoid failure also avoid success. So that's number three. Make mistakes and learn from them. Let's go to number four, which is bold people win. Let me explain. They are risk takers, and that others may not think about it. They take risks, and most people are not willing to take that risk, right? Rich people don't think inside the box. Like, they don't think like what everyone else is doing. They don't want to be the best. They want to be the first to do something that's never been done before. It puts them on what we call a blue ocean market, which I'll talk about in my other videos as well. The bolder you are, the more you will take advantage of opportunities disguised as hard work. The thing is, even if you say you put in all the hard work, But if you're not working smart at it, like there's so many people who work hard. Like the janitor works hard. But the thing is, if the janitor leaves all of a sudden, the next day, I could find a replacement for the janitor. Like it's that easy to get someone to do the job as a janitor. I mean, there could be other variables as well. There are a million people that can do a janitor's job. But someone would do an accounting, someone would do the marketing, someone would do finance and all that. That needs a resume and someone that actually has the skills to do that. You get what I mean with that? So bold people, they win because they take risks that other people only think about. Think about it. Okay, let's go to number 5, which is the rich, they acquire assets. And the thing is, the poor, they acquire liabilities. I read from this book that the rich build their wealth by acquiring income-producing assets. This one does not produce assets. If your only use for it is to just, go on social media or binge watch stuff. But if you use it for learning, that's where the interest comes in. Rich people, they invest in assets like rental properties, businesses that could properly make money, stocks, bonds, or maybe learn a new skill like affiliate marketing, copywriting, or done-for-you services. So there's a lot of things that they can learn. Assets are not just tangible things. It could be something that are non-tangibles, like the things that I told you that you can learn online. Like we live in a digital age wherein if you want to learn how to do marketing, you could learn all that in a few days just by going to Google and YouTube. With income-producing assets, you could retire and still live comfortably. To be honest, I don't have a retirement age. If I continue to do what I'm doing now, why would I retire? Like I have the freedom now to do whatever I want at my age. I don't see myself retiring at like age 60 or 65, which most employees retire, because there's no sense in doing that, because I like what I do. I am my own boss. I do things that I like. I don't force myself to do things that I don't like. So why should I retire? If I wanted to take a vacation, then I'll take a vacation, but I don't need to. That's number 5. Retiring is not an option for me. It's not in my vocabulary. That's number 5. The rich acquire assets. I wrote something on my Facebook account that said, any 18-year-old is richer than a wealthy 80-year-old. Does that make sense? Like if you are 18 years old, comment in the comment section down below and let me know you're an 18-year-old, and pick any 80-year-old right now. They will exchange being 18 years old with you in a heartbeat. Like they would exchange all the money that they have with you to be 18 and still retain what they know, because making money is the easy part, but getting the freedom that goes along with it, because you can't buy time. However rich you are, if you had all the money in the world, you can't buy time. Sure, you can be someone that uses stem cell and live to 100 years old, but still, you're not gonna be athletic or be able to do athletic things or be able to do whatever you want because you're in a bed. So that's number 5. By the way, if you're liking this episode right now, subscribe to the channel would be perfect. Number 6, understand personal finance. What does that mean? Let me explain. The rich build wealth because they completely understand money. Schools often fail to teach us about money. Like I wish schools had a curriculum wherein they would teach about personal finance, knowing how to handle your money, knowing where to invest your money. But the thing is, who's going to teach you that? An employee too? I mean, no disrespect to my teachers from high school. They're all great teachers. I love them all dearly, but no one can teach you about those from someone that's getting on a payroll. Does that make sense? Like if you're gonna learn lessons about being wealthy, would you listen to someone that's employed? I bet not. It won't make sense. It's like getting a pilot license from someone that does ship, something like that, right? It just does not make sense. If we want to become wealthy, we must retrain how we think. This is not like the 90s anymore, wherein you have to get a job to make money. You don't need a job just to make money. If I only learned that when I was still in college, I would not go to college, to be honest. I'd be wasting 4 years of my life going to college. I'm not stopping anyone from going to college, because if you become successful because you went to college doing something and because you were intelligent, good for you. But if you didn't go to college and because you could not afford college and you still made it, then the end goal is the same. You became successful becoming intelligent. You became successful also by being street smart. In Tagalog, walang basagan ng trip. If you became successful being intelligent, being book smart instead of being street smart and vice versa, then good for you because you became successful. I'm not telling anyone you don't need college. The thing is, your education, it's not an excuse. If you say, oh, It's just because I've just finished college, and that's why I could not be successful because my parents cannot afford for them to send me to school. That's why I'm just like this. Stop acting like you're a freaking victim of your situation. If you keep on blaming the system and your situation, you'll never get away from your situation. If you want to be wealthy, again, you need to retrain the way you think. You've been brainwashed by the system. Money without financial intelligence is money gone too soon. Remember when I explained to you, if, for example, you got 100 million pesos all of a sudden, and you only make, like, let's say 50,000 pesos a month, all of a sudden you get 100 million, you get overwhelmed with the amount of money you have, right? Because never in your dreams did you wonder, damn, 100 million in my bank account? We should start buying Lamborghinis, Ferraris, buying all that Gucci stuff. And a year from now, maybe 6 months from now, dude, 500,000 left. Now I have to start selling all these things. All of a sudden, that 35 million peso car is now worth 5 million because of what we call depreciation. Tip: the rich people, they don't buy brand new cars. They buy depreciated cars. I talked about that in one of my previous videos, so look for those videos. So that's number 6. Understand personal finance more than anything. Be financially literate. If you can read, then you can be financially literate. Read books like Rich Dad Poor Dad. Number 7. Never lose sight of your goal. You can reset, refocus, reimagine, plan everything again, but the end goal never changes. You can restart, reset, do anything that you want, change your path whatsoever, but the end goal, the end line is to become successful. It never changes. Life will throw a lot of distractions your way, and you have to learn how to filter them out. And the rich never lose sight of their goal, which is financial freedom. The goal is to have financial freedom, not to be rich. If your goal is to be rich, you'll never get rich. Because if you just want to make money, it will be never ending. You cannot have all the money in the world, but what you want to have is freedom to do whatever the heck you want and work toward that goal. Every morning, you have a purpose that you want to do that makes you jump out of your bed and say, damn, this is not it. Like, you wake up, do you ever wake up every day, sometimes in the morning, and you say, damn, I have to go stronger and I have to move faster. I have to think better because this ain't it. This is not the life that I want. I'm not content with this. I have those days. And so should you. Because if you want to become financially free, start looking for additional income streams. There are 7 income streams, 7 revenue streams of incomes. There's a list that I made of those, and what are they? So look for that in my previous videos. So that's number 7. Never lose sight of whatever goals you have. So the goal stays the same. Financial freedom. That's the goal. Number 8. You want to invest in yourself. So the highest ROI comes from investing in yourself. I invest a lot of money into personal development, and part of that is reading so many books. Like, I have books also that are in PDF form, and those are free. And I didn't spend a single centavo on that. Maybe my internet connection and my Kindle Paperwhite 4. That Kindle paper was like 5,000, and it holds like about 200 plus books, which I probably read only 70 of them. And I'm still downloading some books from pdfdrive.com, and it's free. That's so crazy, because wealth is all about information. The more that you know, the more arsenal you have. It's like having bullets like Rambo. You have this big gun, and then all your bullets are the knowledge that you get from those books. The rich invest in learning life skills. Like, it's like communication to them. It's like communicating to them, understanding people, and managing different systems. You are often just one skill away from that great wealth. Just think about this. We are shitty on like 98% of things in the world. And there's 2% of things in the world that we're really good at. Focus on that. Don't focus on you not being able to sing, dance, do TikTok videos. If you can't sing, can't dance, you can't act, or you're not athletic, then there must be something that you're good at, or at least above average as a person. So focus on that. I realized that I was above average in marketing and in sales. So I focused on that. How? By reading books, learning from people that are actually already there and successful. So I watch them and watch their habits, how they do it, and I read books of people who are very successful. Plain and simple. But the problem is, you just want to watch YouTube videos of all these vloggers of what they bought, all the success that they had, and you're just a consumer of what they're they're creating, and they're the ones making money, and you're not. Problem. You're just one skill away from being wealthy and financially free. Number 8. Do not disregard being inspired from all those people that are successful. But remember what I told you also earlier. Don't put a ceiling on what you can actually achieve. Like if you watch content of people who are in just your area and not someone like, let's say, international, and you stick to just local content, then most likely your content is not going to be a lot better than theirs. If your inspiration is someone that's just, at best a one-hit wonder, then most likely you might be a half-hit wonder. If you're, for example, rap artist and you take inspiration from the most successful rap artist of all time, then heck yeah, you have to choose the person that you want to be in the future. Like if you call everyone, like I hate people demonizing the word Lodi, idol, IDLE. Please stop using that. Okay. Anyway, stop using the word idol, because if you idolize someone, do you want to be really in their shoes? You don't. You don't want to be the second that guy that you're seeing yourself as your idol. You want to be the first one. You want to be the first of what you actually do. Does that make sense? You have everyone as a unique selling point. You were born uniquely. God never created humans alike. Not even twins, right? There are twins. Someone is a twin the first of the two twins can be successful, and the other one can be successful in a different way. One can be financially successful in terms of financial success, and one can be successful in terms of being an athlete, for example. As a professional athlete, does that make any difference? No. But the thing is, you want to be where you're actually good at. You don't know that yet unless you try. That's why you have to invest in yourself. That's why you have to keep on learning and learning. I tried being a DJ, for Christ's sake, for 3 years. And I said, after I earned my last paycheck of 3,000 pesos, I said, this is not what I want to do. Like, respect to all my friends as DJs, making hundreds, thousands, or like millions in pesos being a DJ. But for me, it wasn't it. But at least I tried. That's okay. It's not a problem. I didn't waste my time. I learned that this is not something I want to do for the rest of my life. I moved on. I moved to different things. Soul Slam, like what I did with shoes, was part of who I am now. But everything that I learned from there is a lesson for me. All the things I failed at are now lessons for me, and that's what I'm applying now to every new business that I have, and so on and so forth. I'm investing in myself. I watched the documentary about Anthony Bourdain, and it's by Roadrunner. Story of Anthony Bourdain. It's a sad documentary because he committed suicide, but he has the same mindset as I do, wherein he's not afraid to fail. I know now why I am in my position that I am right now. It's because I never thought about failing. I never thought about what other people would think. What would my cousins think? What would my relatives think? Or what would my high school or college friends think? Or my former co-workers think? Never did that enter in my mind. Like, what if I fail? Just never did. And I just had that kind of audacity. I think that's the mindset that I have. Like, I always had the mindset of being gung-ho. Dive head first. And it hurts at times because you dive head first without a helmet or protection. You're gonna get bumps and bruises. Good thing I don't have brain hemorrhage whatsoever. But yeah, you get my point. I'm not afraid to fail, and it's part of your investing for yourself. So that's number 8, invest in yourself. And the only times you made mistakes are, again, when you didn't learn from it. If I didn't learn from my mistakes, I would have probably 5 people in politics, in the military, or lawyers and priests as partners again and again. And I still would not learn my lesson. But those are my non-negotiables now. If you're in either of those things that I mentioned, regardless if you're my relative or my friend, I will not do business with you. Let's just take a tequila shot together. We're good. We're friends. But I don't want to make money with you. I learned my lessons the hard way. It's an 80 million peso tuition fee for me. I'll leave it at that. I mean, that's for me. If you have a business partner in those fields that I mentioned and you're doing fine, good for you. I don't want to argue with you. Oh yeah, really? I have a business partner who's a lawyer, who's a priest, or who's a military or a policeman or a politician, and we're fine. Screw you. Like, okay, good for you. That's just my opinion. It doesn't, if you're doing great, then great for you. Keep doing it. It's just, I learn my lessons that way. You learn your lessons that way. We agree to disagree on certain things. I respect that. No problem. What's not okay with an argument is disrespect. 2 different things. 2 friends can always disagree, especially like in politics and sports, everything. You can disagree, but disrespecting, it's a whole different level. Just because you lost an argument doesn't mean you have to disrespect your friend. That's how you lose friends, by arguing about politics. Dummies. All right, let's go to number 9, which is what matters is how much money you keep. I don't give a damn how much money you make. I want to know, when I ask people, how much money you get to keep. If you're making, let's say, 100,000 pesos a month and you spend 97,000 pesos a month, what? Like, and I know someone who makes 25,000 and who gets to save 10,000. Who's richer by the end of the year? Do the math. 10,000 times 12 is 120,000. 3, it's what? 36,000? Income does not mean wealth. It's one of the lessons in the book. Income does not equal to wealth. If you make 1,000,000 pesos every month and you spend 1,000,000 pesos a month, you're not rich. You're dumb. And the rich typically save and invest at least 50% or more of their income. They're very frugal. It's one thing I learned late in my life. If I only learned this part when I was 18 to 21 years old, I would have been a millionaire for a very, very long time and not someone struggling in their 20s. Because I made millions as an 18-year-old. Even if I made I remember I still have a copy of my passbook back then, wherein I had 7 million pesos in my account as a 19-year-old, in college. And that's all on me. My parents did not give me that money. I had that money in my bank account, but I wanted to spend it all. I didn't want to save it. Like, I just wanted to, what can I buy? You want a drink? I'll buy you a drink. Like, let's go out. Let's go party. Let's go to clubs. Let's buy clothes. Like, let's spend outrageous amounts on shoes. Insane. Stupidly insane. And the rich people will laugh at you if you do that. They know that saving money is only temporary. Plant your seeds today to enjoy the shade of tomorrow. Someone out there is enjoying the shade that they have right now just because they planted that seed 25 years ago. What does that mean? Someone who worked hard with their own business and made money years and years ago are now enjoying the fruits of it. Like, they'll never go hungry because that tree is an apple-bearing tree. And that apple they can get anytime because they own that tree and they own that land. And now, the second best time for you to plant that apple tree is today. If you start planting your seeds now, you could be enjoying that 10 years from now, 15 years from now. But the problem is, you want it now. So what do you get? You get a big tree, and then underneath, you see a small root. Then comes the storm. Then comes the pandemic. Then comes whatever hardships. That tree is gone. It's gone. Because the roots are not strong enough to withstand all these tests of time. But if you built so many roots, your roots are deep. Even if you have a small tree, no one can take that away. That tree is gonna be unshakable. It's gonna be unbreakable because the roots are deep. That's why when you build a building, you have to dig very deep, diba? So you have to dig very deep because you want the roots of a 60-story high building to be at least, I don't know, I'm not an architect or engineer, but at least probably a third of that to be the roots. That's why they have basement parkings. Their beams are that strong. It took time to build the Eiffel Tower. Like any tower, any 100-story building probably has 40 stories also deep in terms of how it was planted. It's the same with trees. Plant your seeds today so you can enjoy the fruits of it tomorrow. But not tomorrow. Don't take it so literal. Tomorrow. Come on, guys. Please do not take everything I say word for word and be critical about it. Read between the lines. Lastly, do not trade away your freedom for money. It's one of my favorite articles that I wrote on my website, antonioaguirrejr.com. If you go to my blogs. Why the janitor makes 12,000 to 15,000, I don't know. And why does someone that does accounting or someone that does the marketing and marketing ideas gets to get paid 60,000? And why is it fair? So working for someone else means you're trading your time for money. A poor person would trade away their time, which is a 9 to 5, for money. A rich person would trade away their value for money. Some people get pissed. I had a client that complained to me before. Okay, I have so many clients like this. They're gonna complain, Antonio, why is it like that? Like, you did everything for a month in just a day. Like a month's work in just a day, and you expect me to pay full amount? Can I get a discount? No. You know why? Because it took me years and years and years to learn what I learned, so I can do that in just a matter of of days or a day or an hour. Like if it took me 30 minutes to do something for you for a month, I'm gonna charge you a premium for that. I remember that this story wherein there was this ship and it was broken. It was making bad sounds and no mechanic could fix it. And here comes an old mechanic, and what he just does is uses his mallet and pounds it on a certain part of the ship, goes back fluidly. And he charges an insane amount of money for it. Like no mechanic could fix it. And they said, why should we pay you for that? You only pounded it once and it worked. It took me years. It took me decades to learn that I should just do that and it fixes everything. Your mechanics can do that. Did they? If they did, then I shouldn't be here, right? But I'm here. Why the discount? It's not because I did it in 1 second. It's because of the length of time I did it. You want to be paid based on the value that you bring, not based on the hours that you give. The faster that someone does it for you and the more effective that they do it, the higher the premium goes for it. That's why when I do my coaching sessions, I don't put a price tag on how much my lessons are. That's why if you ask me, please do not ever ask me how much my coaching sessions are. Because for example, if I tell you, right between 50,000 pesos to as much as 3 million pesos. If you can afford to pay me 3 million pesos, of course, where would you go? 50,000. Because you're not dumb. You say, okay, yeah, let's do the minimum, but the guy can pay 3 million or maybe 6 million for all I care. And now it's a lesson in negotiation. And I'm gonna do a video about negotiation some other time, because these are things that you don't learn in high school or in college. No. These are hard lessons I learned. I probably lost more millions of money negotiating the wrong way. And I laugh at you guys when you negotiate horrible things to people, and it just blows my mind. But it's a different episode for that. But anyway, as an employee, your income potential is limited by your employer because they have a budget. I have a budget as an employer that this is how much we can actually afford to give someone. And if you can't afford someone to be paid that much, then I'll get someone in lower. That's just it. As an employer, your income potential is unlimited. It can go as high as this or it can go as low as that. It all depends on you. But the thing is, you're not comfortable having that lows. You just want the highs and you're afraid of that. That's the problem, right? So the more you earn, the more freedom you're able to build for yourself. How do you protect getting to the lows? So what you do is you get more revenue streams. So you get your first business to run fluidly without you in it, and you use that money to build your second business to run as smoothly as it can without you in it, that it runs by itself, and you get your third, your fourth. You get my gist. That's why I have friends who have over 200 businesses right now. And I used to wonder, how the hell can you manage 200 plus businesses and still be able to play golf twice a week and be on in freaking Italy for 2 months, or in Europe, I don't know, whatever my friend goes, he's gone for 2 months every year, and go back to his 200 plus businesses, because his businesses run on perpetual motion. They put in countless hours and hours and hours of work. They trade their early freedom for their future freedom. You work 16 hours a day, 7 days a week, non-stop for a year or two, handling your own shit. Let's see where it gets you, compared to someone that works 9 hours a day, working for someone even for 10 years. Let's compare those two persons. I guarantee you that if that first person puts their mind right into it, they'll be very, very far away from each other. Don't trade your freedom for money. You could do that temporarily for the meantime, but don't get comfortable with it. If you're comfortable with that, then you will never be able to achieve things that you are set for, that you're supposed to receive, because you're getting comfortable already with what you have. And comfort is a very, very dangerous thing. That's one thing I learned. If you get comfortable with a job, and there's nothing wrong with being comfortable with what you're doing, because there has to be a balance. But the thing is, you watching here, you don't want to be an employee. You want to be successful too. And that's why you're watching my videos. And that's why my subscribers and my content will probably not reach millions and millions, because you're not the majority. You are part of the minority. You want to be part of that 1%. I want to be part of that 1%. I want to leave you with a final quote from the book. A broke mindset will say, money is the root of all evil. Ooh, common thing. This is the broke mindset. A rich mindset will say, money is the root of all freedom. See the difference? Evil versus freedom. Freedom to do whatever you want, when you want, and with whomever you want. That's 10 important lessons from Rich Dad Poor Dad. That's all I have for you today. If you found value in today's episode, make sure to hit that subscribe button and leave a comment in the comment section down below. And I'll see you again on the next video. Peace.